Let's summarize Evans' trials in O level. Evans was a prisoner in the HM prison. He was known as Evans the Break. Evans was a prisoner in the HM prison, and he was known as Evans the Break, as he was notorious for his jail breaks. So he had a bad record of breaking jail several times, escaping from the jail several times. That is why he was known by his nickname Evans the Break. When he expressed his desire to study German and appear for the O-level examination, everyone doubted his sincerity. Nevertheless, he was given the permission to attend night classes in German. Okay, so once he expressed his desire to study German and appear for the O-level examination, that time everybody was doubtful about his sincerity, but eventually he got the permission uh, from the examination board to attend night classes in German. The permission for the exam was taken from the secretary of the exam board, and the exam was to take place in Evans's prison cell. The permission for the exam was taken from the secretary of the examination board, and the examination was to take place in Evans's prison cell. Okay, so the permission was taken, and he was supposed to write his test in his prison cell itself amidst the tight security. All care was taken for the smooth conduct of the exams. Okay, every care was taken, every precaution was taken for the smooth conduct of the exam. Evans's room was searched the previous night to ensure that there were no sharp objects like razors and nail scissors. Okay, so Evans's room was frisked. Okay, it was searched. Even Evans was frisked thoroughly the previous night by Jackson to ensure that there were no sharp objects like razors and nail scissors. Okay, a microphone was also fitted in his room so that the governor of the prison could listen to each and every conversation taking place. Microphone was also fitted in his room, okay, so that the governor of the prison could listen to the conversation, okay, that takes place during the examination time. So extreme precaution was taken so as to ensure that the smooth conduct of exam is there, and moreover Evans cannot escape. Reverend Saint McCleary, who is a priest, senior priest person, means a senior priest from Saint Mary Max, it's a church, named for church, was to be the invigilator. So Reverend McCleary, a senior priest from Saint Mary Max, was to be the invigilator on the day of the examination. Okay, so on the day of the examination, the tables were set in his room and he was asked to smarten up. On the day of the examination, the tables were set in his room and he was asked to smarten up. When the prison officers saw him, Evans had a filthy looking hat on his head, which he insisted was his lucky charm. So what happened? Prison officers like Jackson is there, Stephen is there. They were also asked to take care of Evans so that he cannot escape, to make all the arrangements for Evans so that he cannot escape. So when the prison officers saw him, Evans had a filthy looking hat. Filthy means dirty looking hat on his head. He was covering something with his hat. So the prison officers like Jackson, Stephen, but it was Jackson actually who frisked his body, which he insisted was his lucky charm. But when Evans was asked about the hat, to remove the hat, he said that is my lucky charm. So kindly, allow me to keep this hat on my head. Actually, Evans wanted to hide the fact that he had cut his long hair short. So Evans in reality wanted to hide the fact, okay, that he had cut his long hair short. The invigilator, McClary, was also searched even though he was a person, even though he was a priest, but still the invigilator McClary was also frisked means searched properly. He had come with a brown suitcase and a semi-inflated rubber ring which contained pig's blood. So what did McClary do? The the McClary, who was supposed to come from Saint Mag Church, okay, uh, he did not come. Somebody else came in the shape of McClary. Okay, so anyway, till that time it was not discovered. So it is said that McClary had come with a brown suitcase in which there was a semi-inflated rubber ring which contained pig's blood. Prison officer Stevens sat outside the cell, peeping in every now and then. The governor did not want to take chances. The governor did not want to take chances with Evans. Okay, the governor did not want to take chances with Evans. So what he did? He uh, frisked him thoroughly. Okay, therefore, and Stevens also helped him have the helped Jackson, and as governor did not want to take chances with Evans, therefore Jackson was pressed into service to frisk Evans thoroughly, and Stevens also was keeping his constant vigil on Evans. The exams began and McClary asked Evans to write the index number 313 and center number 271 on his sheet. So what happened? The exam started, the exam got off to a flying start. Then McClary asked Evans. What did McClary ask? McClary asked Evans to write the index number, that is 313, and center number 271 on his sheet. Okay. So the index number and center number were hints for a hotel in Chipping Norton. At 9:40 am, the correction slip was given to McClary as it was not placed in the packet. So this index number and this center number are the code words for a hotel where Evans was supposed to run away and take shelter. Okay, where Evans was supposed to take shelter after his escape. Understood? So the index number and center number were hints for a hotel in a Chipping Norton. It's the name of a place. And at 9:40 am, but this Evans, at 9:40 am, what happened? One correction slip was given to McClary as it was not placed in the packet. At 10:15 am, Evans requested if he could have a blanket draped over his shoulders. Stevens thought that Evans may have been feeling cold. So at 10:15 am, Evans requested the invigilator, who was McClary, if he could have a blanket, if the invigilator permitted Evans to have a blanket draped over his shoulders. Stevens thought that Evans may have been feeling cold, but Evans actually used the blanket to change dresses. Yes, that's true. So Stevens permitted him, okay, but Stevens thought that Evans was feeling cold, okay, therefore Stevens permitted him, but Evans actually was changing his dress inside the blanket. When the examination got over at 11:20 am, Stevens heard the governor's orders that he should accompany McClary to the prison gates. Stevens obeyed the orders without realizing it was a fake order. Okay, so Governor Stevens got a call from governor that he should accompany McClary who was giving invigilation in Evans's room, to take him to the prison gates. But Stevens did not know that it was and he was not supposed to know also. Okay, it was a trick actually by the friends of Evans. On the way to the main gates, Stevens felt that McLeary looked slimmer, his black overcoat longer, and his Scottish accent slightly broader. Okay. Kanchan, good morning. I am summarizing Evans tries on O level. So, as it was 11 o'clock, I started. Okay. On return, Stevens found a wounded McLeary, his blanket slipping from his shoulders and blood dripping through the beard. Okay. So, as you can see here, McLeary looks slimmer. Why McLeary looks slimmer? Because McLeary brought two sets of dress, okay, one for himself and another for Evans. Understood? That is why when Stevens was escorting him back to the prison gate, McLeary, who in his entry in the examination hall in the morning appeared to be a bit fat, suddenly became slim. Why he became suddenly slim? Because he has left his one set of dress for Evans to escape. That is why Stevens felt that McLeary looked slimmer. His black overcoat longer and his Scottish accent slightly broader, and his Scottish accent also has changed a little bit. Okay, so what was the reason for that? Let's find out. On return, Stevens found a wounded McLeary, his blanket slipping from his shoulders and blood dripping through the beard. After he returned to the prison, he could see that he could find a wounded McLeary who was sitting inside his black blanket, but blood dripping through the beard. The governor was informed, who in turn informed the police. It seemed Evans had escaped impersonating as McLeary. So, dear students, everybody at that point of time in the prison thought that it was Evans who had escaped, and the person who was invigilating, that is McLeary, he was hit by Evans, and it was the invigilator who was inside the prison. He did not go. Okay, he stayed back in the prison because Evans attacked him and escaped. Okay, in the guise of the invigilator. So this is what he thought. Understood? Everyone thought actually in the prison, but the reality is different. Understood? The reality is different. We'll come to know now. So whenever the governor came to inspect the prison after the invigilator left, he could find that Evans had escaped impersonating as McLeary. Impersonating means taking the look of, if I take the look of somebody, I shall be impersonating. So impersonating as McLeary. Okay, Evans had escaped impersonating as McLeary. The governor examined the question paper and found a photocopied sheet carefully and cleverly superimposed over the last page. The governor examined the question paper. The governor examined the question paper and found a photocopied sheet carefully and cleverly superimposed over the last page. So, on that photocopied sheet, all kinds of code language was written for the escape of Evans. Okay, let's find out. The superimposed paper had instructions and plans written in German. Make your way to Neugraben. Neugraben meant Newbury in English. Okay, so in that superimposed paper, in that photocopied sheet, okay, uh, and superimposed paper, it was written, "Make your way to Newbury." This was done to mislead the governor to Newbury. Okay, it was done. Why Newbury was mentioned? Why the name of Newbury? Why the name of Newbury was mentioned? The name of Newbury was mentioned so as to confuse the governor. Okay, so as to confuse the governor, so that governor thinks that Evans had escaped to Newbury, but in reality Evans did not escape to Newbury. Understood? On the advice of McClary, the governor injured McClary, dear students who were there in the prison, okay, who was there in the prison. On the advice of injured McClary, the governor instructed the police to take him along in their search for Evans and later admit him to a hospital, okay, because McClary, like the person who was inside the prison, injured McClary, he claimed that he can help the governor trace Evans. Understood? But it was all false. We'll come to know later. It's all false. And then governor also agreed, and then governor thought that once he gives us the hint to locate Evans, we shall be going on that road, and we shall ensure the admission of McClary into a hospital because he is injured by Evans. After a futile chase for Evans, futile means it was useless. After a futile chase for Evans, McClary got down at Elsfield from where the ambulance was supposed to pick him up. Okay, so McClary was asked to get down at Elsfield, okay, from where one ambulance was supposed to pick him up for the hospital because he was injured by Evans. It was presumed, but the ambulance could not find McClary anywhere near Elsfield. Ambulance came to pick up, but ambulance did not find Evans anywhere near Elsfield. McClary had vanished. In fact, McClary was an accomplice of Evans. The real McClary, the person, was bound and gagged in his room. Soon everyone realized it was not McClary impersonating as Evans who had walked out of the prison, but Evans impersonating as McClary who had stayed in the cell. So what happened, dear students? Then everyone came to know. After that, everyone came to understand that no, the McClary who was found to be injured inside the cell and who was presumed to be injured by Evans was not the real McClary. He was one of, initially they thought, he was one of Evans's friends, or it's in English it's called accomplice. Okay, accomplice you can say, or accomplices. One of Evans's accomplices means partners. You can say one of Evans's friends. In reality, what happened? Real McClary was tied in his room. Okay, real McClary was not allowed to come for Evans's invigilation. Real McClary was tied and gagged in his house. Okay, he was not allowed to come, and the McClary who came was Evans's friend actually. Understood? And then everyone came to know that, everyone realized that it was not McClary impersonating as Evans who had walked out of the prison, okay, but Evans impersonating as McClary who had stayed in the cell. Then everyone came to know that no, initially they thought that Evans had hit the real McClary. Then they came to know that real McClary was not allowed to come for the invigilation. It was the McClary who came was Evans's friend. Okay, and then they thought that Evans had injured McClary and went out of the prison, escaped from the prison. Now they have come to know another fact. What is the fact? Now they have come to know that it was Evans who stayed back in the in the prison. It was not the injured McClary who was Evans's friends, but it was Evans himself who was who stayed back, okay, in the form of McClary, in the form of injured McClary. So Evans would now leave, like McClary, whom they thought as injured McClary was none other than Evans himself, because Evans did not escape from the prison. Evans was inside the prison in the shape of McClary. Okay, that is why McClary did not go to the hospital. Okay, from Elsfield, you can see here, from Elsfield, McClary did not go to the when the ambulance came. McClary did not go to the hospital. Why? Because he was in reality Evans, so he was escaping. Okay, nothing had happened to him, so that is why he had not gone to the hospital. It was all pig blood which was scattered on his face and all that. So it was all pig blood, artificial blood. That is why, as McClary was not injured at all, as Evans in the form of McClary was not injured at all, therefore he did not report to the hospital, he left somewhere else. Okay, meanwhile, Evans had reached the hotel in Chipping Norton. See, Chipping Norton he was supposed to go, escape, but in the correction slip it was written, what was written in that superimposed paper? It was written in the superimposed paper that he was supposed to go to Newberry, but it was just to confuse the governor. Okay, but in reality, Evans went to Chipping Norton. He went there happy over his escape, only to be shocked to find governor waiting for him in his hotel room. Okay, but he went to Chipping Norton, but the governor from the code could understand. Okay, even though Evans tried to confuse him, but by seeing the code he could understand that it was the Golden Lion Hotel where he was supposed to report. Understood? So he has written Newberry Hotel, Newberry, but actually Chipping Norton was the place where Evans escaped eventually with the help of his friends. Understood? But from the superimposed paper, on the superimposed paper, some codes were mentioned. So from examining the codes from the superimposed paper, the governor could understand that it was the Golden Lion Hotel where Evans would eventually take shelter. Okay, so governor from before only he went there to catch Evans. So governor was shocked to find he was shocked to find the governor waiting for him in his hotel room. The governor told him that the index number and the center number gave away the location. Evans was handcuffed and taken to the prison van. As the van started moving, the prison officials inside the van unlocked his handcuffs. Actually, the prison officials were his friend. Okay, actually, what happened? Prison officials were the friend of Evans. So Evans was handcuffed and taken into the prison van, but then governor did not follow them, or the governor did not come in the same van. That was the mistake he did actually. Okay, and this prison van was managed by all Evans's friends. Okay, in the garbage of in the garbage sorry in the shape of the prison officials. That is why the governor could not suspect also. As the van started moving, the prison officials inside the van unlocked his handcuffs, because all the prison officials inside the van were Evans's friends. Okay, actually the prison officials were his friends. Evans asked the driver to take him to Newberry. The governor was once again deceived. Okay, Governor Evans then asked the driver to take him to Newberry, and now Evans would go to Newberry, but governor has no clue now where he will live. Okay, so that's how the story comes to an end. So Evans tries an O level. We can see points to remember. Evans seeks permission to appear on an O level German exam from the jail. he is granted permission as he is a young and amiable person. Okay, he is granted permission as he is a young and amiable person. He is called Evans the Break as he has escaped from the jail thrice. He is called Evans the Break because he has escaped from the jail not only once but thrice. Thorough checking is done before and on the day of the examination. Evans seeks permission to put on his hat, which is a lucky charm for him. Okay. Then, on the day of examination, his invigilator, Reverend Stuart McCleary, arrived on scheduled time. McCleary was in a long black overcoat and a shallow-crowned clerical hat. Examination was conducted inside his cell under strict care and vigil of Stevens and Jackson. McCleary was checked thoroughly before entering the cell. Jackson ensured all safety measures so that Evans could not escape. Exam started a bit late at 9:40 am. The assistant secretary informed that there was a correction slip to be kept in the package. Stevens peeped through the peephole at the interval of 1 minute or so. Evans asked for a blanket. After the paper was over, Stevens dropped McCleary to the main gate. When he peeped into Evans's cell, he was shocked to see McCleary bleeding there. McCleary told him he knew where Evans lived or escaped. Jackson rushed to the spot in Newberry. Evans had impersonated McCleary. Ultimately, he was spotted at the Golden Lion Hotel. The governor told him that he got his address through the correction slip. He was arrested and taken in a police van, from where he was freed by his friend in police uniform. Okay, so that is how the story comes to an end. So this question is important. How did the question paper and the correction slip help the prisoner and the governor? A photocopied sheet was very cleverly pasted on the question paper and the correction slip. It was to finalize the details of plan of escape and to make the authorities believe that the wounded man was McCleary, the invigilator himself. On the other hand, these helped the governor to locate the place where Evans was hiding.